Help. I can't stop. I keep wanting to build and grind, and general productivity has grinded to a screeching halt because of GB4. I can't stop building, I can't stop breaking. I even tweaked and re-revised my Eclipsing Revise by giving it Rising Gundam legs because I wanted to have, you know, G Gundam legs instead of Strike legs. I think it looks better, but I can't stop. So I made some new builds, and even though there's no more story or anything, no content for me to actually, do and show off, I still want to show off some builds, which is what I'm going to do. I only have, 3-4 achievements left to get in this game, 2 of which require the event to be active, so that's not happening yet. Well, actually 3 of which, because it's the, get every single achievement that, I also can't get without those 2. Otherwise, just completing the last level on new type, which I just don't feel like doing right now. I could probably just run it and complete it, but I want to be able to S-rank it, so I'm going to max out my my build here. It's not quite maxed out yet, but that requires grinding for abilities. But that's not the plan. I have builds. I've also been trying to clear out my blueprints of stuff that I don't terribly care for, or stuff that's like, that was an idea, let's not play with that anymore. But it's gotten bad to the point that I even made an SD version of my Eclipsing, which all you do is just slap on SD legs, throw on an MG head and make it super big, resize the torso to, you know, be SD proportions, and now you have an SD Gundam with anything. It's quite amazing. And really all I did was replace the head and the legs. The head and the legs, as you can see, are not nearly as leveled as everything else, though, because, yeah, they're the newest parts. Still, it's really funny having an SD version of my own guy running around. I even went and, well, older version, but I did make a diorama of the 2. For funsies. But against the old one, because you can see they have the strike legs and the, Strike Lube legs, I believe. Yeah. So they still match, but I swapped out for Musha God Maru and Rising Gundam legs. Rising Gundam legs for those. But still, I like how this turned out just for fun. You know, just a guy and his boy. But anyway, builds that I want to show off. I've got a couple. Plus, I think there's some quests that I never ended up, showing off and recording, so there's at least one that I want to. But I went to paint. I wanted to go to blueprints. I went up too far. But yeah, again, a bunch of these I've shown off or, glanced at. I should probably delete Sarissa at this point, because it's just, A, it's not leveled, B, it's just not a good build. Or rather, it's unfun. I didn't end up renaming this. I probably should. Let me just do that real quick. Radiant Mirage, because it's a shadow of its former self. Also, the coloring isn't quite right. I have to go back into GB3 and get my color numbers to get this right. But yeah, this is basically my original GB3 build. I've talked about this before, but this is as close as it's gotten so far. I gave it back its Stargazer arms. It still has the anchor launcher from the, what's it called now? The Strike Noir. That said, there is a document that people put out that compiled what options, or master skills, option EX skills, that don't hollow your part. And I believe it may be the left arm of the Grimoire Red Beret that has a anchor launcher in it. So I might want to master that at some point and put that on here so that way I don't have to have hollow arms at least there. But yeah, I did go and hide the GN Fang Rex in the legs again, so now I can run those. It doesn't mean I no longer have Beam Saber EX skills, but I mean, those used to be option skills for me anyway, so it's fine. Plus the GN Fangs are amazing. So this is almost back to its former glory. It'll never quite reach that level, but you know, it's back up a little bit. Also the numbers, because of all the leveled parts, Well, it's just the head, really. Everything else needs to be leveled. Let's see. Did I have anything else new here? Not really. I talked about GN Starstorm, which still needs to be retooled because it's hard to work around the Helios backpack. Lord Gittia still needs some planning. Geminus 01 is... It doesn't have, like I said, a lot of skills before. It has the Trans-MPX system, the Beam Sabers, and then the Head Vulcans. But all things considered, that's basically what a standard, like, story suit would have. Like, the original Gundam basically has the same thing. Head Vulcans, Beam Sabers, and that's it. So, yeah, this is a base suit. It works. I have an addiction to skills, though. One thing I've noticed, just so I can keep rambling here for no reason, I've watched other people play, because I like to do that after I've played through, or when I'm playing through a game, and a lot of people seem pretty content with having, like, 3 EX skills and, like, 3 to 6 optional skills, and I'm just like, that's not enough for me. I gotta fill up every slot, and I will use everything on there. How are you satisfied with, like, 2 skills and a heal, and then, like, a set of missiles and you're good? I suppose it's true to my, like, scholarly nature, where I want to wade into battle with a full spellbook of abilities instead of just, like, 3 core abilities. I like my variety, so base, like, straight builds aren't for me. But still, this exists, and, I mean, I like the way it looks. I did make a new SD, just because while I actually do love the way my Dragofan came out, it's a really cool design, it still feels really busy, considering I've got 2 swords in hands, 2 swords in the legs, 2 swords in the back, and it's just spikes everywhere. So, while I do think this is probably my favorite SD build, it's a little busy, so I wanted an alternate. Oh, spoilers! Well, it's already been shown, but I wanted this to be a little less busy while still having a whole bunch of things. Well, there's the spoiler again. But I've learned that I love the mini-moires, and so I just made one that's all Grimoire stuff. I even colored the Gyan shield to look like it. But I've got a big old knife. The ball HG arms are still kind of ridiculously big. Like, those are shrunk down by 300%. They're still big. So, like, the arm proportions are really weird and off. But he's got a big old stabby knife. And then 8 mini moires outside the backpack and 2 more in the backpack. Launching all 8 does cost 8 EX meter, so it's not really practical, but when they all go out, it's super fun. As for the two-tone, it's because the ones in the backpack cannot be recolored, and they are in those 2 colors anyway. So, consistency across the board. But yeah, Megamoir. And you're gonna see the second one after I scroll down, but the one I'm really proud of right now, Gundam Maxstar. I did go and make a Gundam Maxstar build, and when I make these, I call them rebuilds, because it's thematic, but when I make these rebuilds, I like giving them names that are not quite the same when I can. The Geminus 01 is, I feel, far too accurate to give a fun name, and the Nether Gundam is just, it's Nether Gundam. That itself is the joke. But Gundam Maxstar is a Maxter with a focus on the star-burning arms for punches. So, plus, what is it, Hyper Star-Burning Punch? It works for Maxter. So I gave him, his football helmet. The Strike Noir legs come with the rifles, or the beam rifle shorties, so he's got dual pistols already attached. And I think it looks fantastic using the enhanced sensor units as the big shoulder pads. Of course, I can't make them detach and become big punching gloves, but, maybe when we actually get a release of the Maxter in Gundam Breaker 4, that'll just work. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a Maxter kit, an HG Maxter kit, but it's, like, an older P Bandai, and I'm just like, A, I missed that, somehow. B, just put it in the game. The kit exists. It's not even the old kit, it's a newer kit. Put it in the game. So yeah, Maxstar with the star-burning arms. And then V Spiegel. The reason being, the V2 assault arms. I saw those when I looked at Gundam Spiegel to be like, how do I build this? I saw the chest, I saw the shoulders, and I'm like, okay, Denon's on chest, V2 assault arms, and oscillating beam sabers on the arms for the Spiegel blades. Those were my like first three thoughts when I looked at it and decided how I wanted to build it. The Rising Gundam legs sort of just work. They're G Gundam suit, and the color separation works out. I put beam boomerangs on the backpack, so he can throw his German ninja shuriken. And it's funny, because when you have, you know, two beam boomerangs, you get access to the double boomerang option skill, but you can also list each individual boomerang as a single boomerang skill, so you can basically throw out 4, all with separate cooldowns. You throw out one, you throw out the other, then you throw out the double. Just 4 separate cooldowns. Much like the Geminus 01, because these are somewhat intended to be straight builds, and the parts involved with making them, the skills are lacking. Which, again, makes sense. I did have to port over hyper mode from another unit, so that way Maxter can have hyper mode, so that I lose the chest for, you know, temporarily. Luckily, there's no builder's parts on there, so that's just the Shenlong chest. So it'll disappear for hyper mode, and it looks terrible, but at least I'm not losing cosmetics when it comes back. But yeah, lacking, because it's really just fists, strong fist, and beam rifle. I do have the eye... Where did I put the eye field from? I think I threw an eye field generator on this somewhere, which I don't actually need to do, because I could have mastered the eye field skill from anything else and just put it on there, but hindsight. But yeah, here, just the beam sabers on the arms, I believe, which is just, it's a weapon that it can have using, you know, one of the arm blades in theory. But beam saber oscillation blade for the EX, I got boomerangs to throw all day, and it really doesn't have any other skills because I don't have any other options for what I can put on this. I did use the missile pods for the shoulder accents to get color separation correct, but I didn't add them in as skills because Spiegel doesn't use missiles. And then this one is an old one I ported over from GB3, but my Gundam Death Greep. It's just Gundam Greep, but because the Death Scythe backpack is so prominent, and it's definitely not the Greep backpack, I just meshed into the name for Death Greep, and I like the way it sounds. But I do like the way Greep came out. It looks better than it did in GB4 because the thrusters on the wings actually face the correct side. They couldn't turn around that far in GB3. So I'm glad it's more accurate. And I believe I've mentioned, but I have a actual, like, HG Greep kit sitting somewhere in my house. But I've built it. It's not a bad kit. It's definitely an old kit. But I used it to refer to when I made the original, and, well, I made it again. It's just a really nice looking suit. And then I made Tequila Gundam. Tequila Spike. He's got his beam trident. He's got his cacti arms. He's got the weird binder on the back, which I don't really know what it does. He's got a sombrero. He's got his mustache. It's all good. So yeah, I'm going to take a couple of these and just run a couple quests. And so I've spoken before about my story rewrites for this game. And I somewhat hit a writer's block because the game's story got super dumb by the end, and I'm just like, I don't know how to work with this anymore. But I suppose while I run the mission, I can talk about my ideas for like the first couple chapters that I've had. Also, now that we're in post-game, I haven't actually talked to anybody about, like, anything. Like the characters out here. Are all the NPCs back? Because I know there are a total, like, 10 NPCs. There are not. But yeah, there... I looked around. There, through my recordings, there are 10 NPCs that aren't your allies around. Gorgeous is always here. His golden glory. And I've basically looked at all their builds. I like collecting, like, the build lists for everyone. So I have a whole spreadsheet of, like, Their head, body, arm, leg, backpack, close range, long range, shield. No skill list, because none of these guys ever have skills listed. And I don't know why. But basically, whatever they can slot, I'm like, alright, you have that as a skill. They tend to have not very many. Like, Tao over there has like 3 possible... Where is Tao? I walked past him, didn't I? Tao is down there somewhere. He's short. Yeah. He has like a total possible like 4 separate skills that he can equip on that. So it's like, oh. And again, it's like, I don't know how you manage that. How do you not have skills to just throw out all the time? How do you rely on basic combos? He doesn't even have a shield. A lot of them don't have shields, which is also bizarre to me. There should be new gunpla and diorama parts added with the official release. I can't wait. You're telling me, dude. I'm waiting on all those DLCs and more. And also for them to fix the hollow parts. What? Say as if that's controversial. Seriously, you'll see when I use Hyper Mode here, it's still gonna look terrible. Hey, how are you? I can't wait for the new version to be released. We'll have so many new missions to try. Yeah, and also, Didi needs to return. She's kind of sleeping right now. She's not in the lobby anymore, because the story is on pause. Do you have 2 things to say or just 1? Here we go. When will Didi come back? There's so much I want to talk to her about. Exactly. She'll be back. Just don't know when. We beat Chaos and returned GB4 back to normal. Now we just need to wait for Iridian to be fully restored. I sure hope she's alright. It's nice everything's peaceful, but I wish GB4 would admit what we did. I guess they can't if they're trying to hush up the security failure. Yeah, but again, wasn't that like streamed by some people? Like, you can't cover that up that easily. Especially in, you know, the internet age. Or whatever this is supposed to be like beyond that. There's no way that's not getting out. No possible way. GB4 is back to normal, like Chaos was never here. I guess they really are gonna cover it up. I'm betting we'll all be super busy when the new missions unlock at launch. Might be nice to relax for a little while beforehand. I am super not relaxing because I'm still making builds and going nuts. Seeing everyone enjoying GB4 like this, as if nothing happened, makes it seem like that battle was all some sort of bad dream. It was certainly a nightmare. They're playing Reko's announcement now. I never imagined I'd say this, but it's nice to have things going according to plan for once. True, you kind of have a whole thing with being forced along a plan. Can you guys quiet down? I'm trying to talk here. I think there's only 5 of the other NPCs out here. So there's Kai, there's... You know, I just looked their names too. I don't remember your name. But you have Gundam Flugel. I remember the Gundam's name. Misa's down there. There's Lapis Lazuli with Blue Fumina. I don't remember your name, but your Gundam is Gundam Energia. So there's like 4 of you out here. 4 of the 10, huh? Alright, Kai, what do you got? The forums are all buzzing with how you and your clan saved the game. We'll be talking about this for years. You're absolute legends. Also, Kai, weren't you helping Lapis Lazuli and the Blue Fumina over there, like, learn the game? That was like one of the things you did. You're like, she looks new, I'm gonna help her out. And then like the next chapter you were helping her out, and now you're all the way over here. So I don't know what happened. Yeah. Okay, yeah, the non-friend NPCs have 1 line. Everything's finally settling down again. And Nadine are safe, which is the important thing. Feels like you really matured a lot during the fight to save GB4. I mean, you know, from what I can tell through the screen anyway. I'd say we barely spoke, but I guess you were Mr. for the longest time, so you actually would have an idea, wouldn't you? Konnichiwa. Seeing you in action made me want to join a clan as well. I wonder if there's a beginner-friendly clan out there. Or maybe I can make one. I mean, I'm technically a beginner-friendly clan. We're sort of just the heroes, though, so I can understand why you're apprehensive. Benny. Since the beta's over, it'd be nice to grow our clan. Oh hey, there's someone over there. Maybe they want to join. I feel like I did read this before. I don't remember if it was on screen or not. But yeah. Wait, are you in a clan? I didn't hit the right button. Holy Force Crusaders. Right, and you like 00, Seed, and Fighters Try. We would get along. I mean, like, I don't know about Seed. I haven't watched Seed, but, you know, the other 2 are fine with me. Tron, that was your name. I was worried for a while there, but you and your friends really pulled it off. I can't thank you enough. Yeah, see, everyone knows, so I don't know how the media's gonna, or the company's gonna hush this up. It's just not gonna happen. Anyway, questing. Was it chapter 4? Chapter 5. Yes. So, this is the one and only Destroy the Monolith quest that isn't part of the story. It's also not a very good quest. But, I also don't think I've ever showed this off because I never replayed quests on recording. But, much like in GB3, you can replace... Actually, less like GB3 because you can actually replace the actual character. But, yeah, you can replace the character and what Gundam they use. I want to hang out with Jin, and I'll let him use the V-Spiegel. And I'll bring Mashima along. We can have all the boys that aren't Tao, I guess. No. Because I never actually brought him along, but I can't in this one because it's not in that quest. Never mind. Alright, Mashima's the one. And then I wanted to bring Rhyme because I never actually, like, partied with him, but Mashima can take the Tequila Spike out for a spin. Higher difficulties here. Oh no, because I haven't played them on higher difficulties, so I wouldn't be able to bring along friends. It's fine. The parts are leveled enough. But let's show off the whole team. Also, it means I won't play as all of them. But look at this launch sequence. I've got 2 sets of pistols because I didn't want to give him no ranged weapons. The football helmet looks so good. It's just a G3 Gundam head, but the color separation allows me to make it look like a helmet, so it's really good. Anyway, yeah, I'll start talking about my rewrite here. So, but first let me comment on the monolith here. So we're on this ship. This is the entire map, by the way. It's minuscule. I think it is the smallest map. And the monolith is a slot machine, and I don't know why I'm losing frames. My computer is apparently not having a good time right now. Anyway, this... Oh god, why do I not have... Why is my, like, computer not happy right now? This is bad. Hopefully it manages, but... not good. Anyway, yeah, so starting from Chapter 1, it is basically mostly the same. You start up the game for the first time, and you're like, yeah, I'm new, and then you run into Tao. Now, Tao here, primarily the same sort of person, but I sort of want him to be more of an Iorisei type character. That is, huge Gundam nerd, pretty notable builder, not a great fighter, he's real scared of playing. So you still get his like, his cowardly character in, of he's like, I actually don't know how to fight in the game, I'm really bad. But basically, in the tutorial, like, he helps you out, and he'll give call-outs to show off how he's a huge Gundam nerd. He'll be like, hey, those are Zaku too. They're not, they're your basic grunt units, but their axe packs a punch, so just watch out. Or then, you know, a Goof shows up, and he's like, that's no Zaku. They have a heat rod that has pretty deceptive range, so watch out for that one. Or, that's a gym. They may not look like much, but you have to break through their shields if you want to really deal damage. You know, just call-outs like that, where it's like, okay, he's teaching you about Gundam, he's teaching you about the game, it's great. So, after that, after the first mission and all that, he's like, cool, we'll start building. Hey, I'm a pretty experienced builder myself. Here's some tips. You start off your customization, same as base. So, you know, the opening is mostly the same, but we're having a little character be a little more efficient in their characterization. And then you get to the second mission, where you would meet Din normally. But instead, what happens is, we're playing the mission, stuff happens, and then Tao freaks out. You know, he's still new to actually battling in multiplayer, has a slight panic attack, and hits the SOS button. which functions basically like it would Monster Hunter, right? You throw an SOS flare that notifies and puts up in the list of joinable matches. And who responds to this SOS? This panicked SOS? But Rin, who's also new to the game. She sees that, she's like, well, I want to be the cool hero, I want to help. So, you know, you have Rin as this hot-blooded newbie who really wants to do the cool thing. So she shows up and is also starting to get bodied because she's new, she's not that good. And eventually, you all fight, you work through the match, you're all like, we all suck, and you beat the PG Gundam at the end, and you make a clan. Or, not even just a clan, just a team. I'm separating out team from clan here, right? Teams being just groups of 3, clans being multiple people. So we're not making a clan yet, we don't have enough people for that. But we're just joining together as 3 friends who will run missions frequently enough. I am stalling by not attacking the main units, so that way I can keep talking. As long as the monolith stays up, I can actually just keep grinding away parts, which is super useful. So anyway, we have a couple training missions, all 3 of us together. Can be a couple, can just be 1, and the story says we hang out more. Doesn't matter either way. That's not my part of the rewrite job. And then we get to the same part where we meet Ririn. Right? So we start up a mission. You know, you and Tao meet up, and then you meet Rin, who wasn't scheduled to be there today. You do a mission, and most of the way through you realize you're not Rin. You happen to look exactly like her, but you're not Rin. Who are you? After the mission, and learning that she's a different person, we're still going to call her Ririn because, you know, we just run with the names we've already got. Don't need to rewrite that too much at the moment. And it turns out she's definitely a different person from Rin, and she's on a team with Mashima and Sheena. I'm still not entirely sure how to rewrite their relationship. Wow, there's no one else spawning. Okay. Not entirely sure how to rewrite their relationship, but they're currently on a team with Ririn, and they're their own group of 3. And so, you know, Mashima's like, don't poach our teammate from us, that's not cool. And it's like, sorry, we didn't realize, you know, we thought she was a friend of ours, she looks so similar. Mashima's like, I don't believe that, there's no way anyone could look so similar and have, you know, the same gunpla. Cue Din showing up going, what's the commotion? I didn't think we were supposed to meet up today, but I wanted to get more training in. And then everyone's just like, huh, there really are 2 of them. How did that happen? So you have some more interaction, and then Team Mashima basically challenges you to meet up in the upcoming team tournament. Again, different from a clan tournament, because it's just small teams. It's like meant to be a beginner sort. It's like a rising star tournament is the idea, right? Newbie teams show up, gonna fight, see who's gonna be cool rising star early on in the game. So they challenge you, and you're like, all right, well then let's get some training in so that way we can, you know, be ready to fight them. Tao, however, isn't very enthusiastic for some reason, but he doesn't quite elaborate, not yet. So after that, could be the next mission, could be a mission after the next mission, but you and Rin show up to train, and Tao is a no-show. And of course, as friends, you're pretty worried. Like, what happened to Tao? I thought we were going to meet up and train. You know, maybe he's busy with real life, that kind of happens. Let's just go out, train for a bit. You have some nice chat with Rin, you know, get some characterization going on there. You're both worried about Tao, so you say, you know, let's talk to him next time we see him, and all that. You go up for the next mission, Tao's here this time. He's like, sorry, I was busy, you know, we've got a school group project coming up, and it's pretty close to the deadline, so we're trying to finish it up. Of course, as his friends, you're sort of just like, that doesn't seem entirely true. What's wrong, Tao? Wow, cleared everybody out, huh? No one else is spawning. And so it's like, alright, you do the mission, and eventually you get Tao to spill the beans, like what's actually wrong. And it turns out, yes, there is a school project he's working on, but he's being bullied into completing it all on his own. And you have a moment where Rin is like, what school do you go to? I'm going to go there and meet up with you. And it's like, you can go beat up his bully, what's going on? And it's like, one potential dialogue option you can have is, or you can have the dialogue options to be like, rein it in, Rin, like, don't do anything crazy. You could agree with her, being like, yeah, we'll both be there. Or you can go full psycho route and be like, I'll get my bat. At which point, Rin is like, you know what, maybe it's not a good idea if we go there. Tao, if you need anything, let us know. But basically, you reassure Tao, he feels better, it's still not resolved, but he feels better, you train up. Then, the day of the tournament, you meet up again with Team Mashima, you have some friendly banter, but then you realize you're not even meeting in the first round yet. You're not in the same seed bracket at the moment. So you have to get through at least one round before you can face off against Team Mashima in our promised match. And so you go up for the first match, and then again plays much like base game. The first team you fight against actually has Sarito in it, and it's still going to be Sarito because, again, we're not adding in new characters. And my sound cut out for some reason. Anyway, so turns out Sarito is on the opposing team, and you know, Tao continues to start having his panic attack regarding that, and we're like, oh, this is the bully. We pep talk him, we reassure him that we will beat this team. We get into the fight. Things progress somewhat similarly, but at least this time we have more context ahead of time about Tao and his bully problems. So eventually, I lost my head. We beat Tao. No, we helped Tao beat Sarito. I'm getting stun locked in the corner. And, yeah. Sarito gets absolutely beat down and humbled after being all like, this is dumb, like, you're dumb, you should be, embarrassed for enjoying this sort of thing. And Tao has his resolve and he's like, no, this is fun, this is what I do. Leave me alone, I'm done dealing with your nonsense, right? Tao finally, gets his backbone. Now, we're gonna leave that aside at the moment because we're in the middle of the tournament. So, that's still there. We end up, I'm forgetting my thoughts here because I'm trying to shuffle everything. Yeah, so now we're ending up against Team Mashima in the next round. We have a real cool rival battle. Jin, please. I know it's not a great suit, but I'm trying to rescue you. They're both down. These suits are leveled, by the way. Yeah, so we face them down. It's a good match. We're good friends. You know, it's a good rivalry. And then Mashima decides to propose that we join together as a clan. Because with 6 people, we can have an official clan and have multiple teams. So we're like, you know what? That sounds pretty good. Let us be done with this tournament, and then we can get that organized. So, on to the next round. And we're up against Freedom Fleet. But not Chaos this time, because it's really dumb that we managed to beat Chaos, like, early on, right? The fact that we faced him, like, first thing and just beat him with Awakening, real dumb. Let's not do that. Instead, we face the Freedom Fleet Rising Stars. These are some newbies who are like, you know, they're raised up by the prestigious Freedom Fleet clan. So it's like, oh, these guys are probably going to be really good and, like, they'll be real strong fighters in the future. You even have one of them become a recurring character. I know I said we're not really introducing people, but one of them could be recurring because we're absolutely going to steal their thunder at the end of this tournament. So as we're fighting, we're clearly outmatched because they're just better builders, they got better training and all that. And we're just some newbies who are just like, this sounded cool, and now we're getting beat. And just as things are dire, Awakening. So we beat them with Awakening, and after the match, they approach and they're like, what cheats did you use? How did you beat us? That shouldn't have been possible. That's when Chaos can appear and be like, that was no cheat, that was Awakening. It's a rare ability that I've never really seen before, only heard about. And so he can give you the whole exposition without actually being part of the fight afterwards. So once that's all set up, we win the tournament. We steal the Thunder as the rising stars of GB4, the newbies of this tournament, and we start to get a little bit of renown here and there. And that's pretty much the end of the chapter. Start chapter 2, we start to get some closure with Tao. Basically, after the tournament, he was approached by Sarito, who apologized for all his bullying and just being, a general nuisance. And while they're not friends, Sarito has asked, and Tao has offered, to help. Tao has offered to help Sarito with his builds. He's like, you know what? Gundam's pretty cool. Your build was actually pretty awesome out there, and I kind of want you to show me how to do it right. And it's like, okay, well, they're not friends, but they're on better terms now, and there's a degree of mutual respect, or at least respect from Sarito that wasn't there before. And with that lead-in, you can have Tao introduce builder's parts. Be like, yeah, I'm helping Sarito with his builds now. We're not friends, but, maybe that can change. By the way, I can also help you improve your builds. Here's how to use builder parts. And now it's like, oh, there we go. Now you can use builder parts and Awakening, and we can really improve our builds. You also resolve the whole thing of like, okay, we're making a clan, so now we have Mashima, Shina, and Ririn all with us, and the next chapter can be like, let's learn about each other and like our whole new team and start characterization there. I have a bit more written, but not memorized, and I don't have my notes quite next to me. Even what I've given here is a little sketchy in terms of what I remember. But basically, more of just like making it coherent and just fleshing things out better. Need better pacing is the crux of the problem. Like, they introduce too many characters too quickly at you and don't really give it time to like feel out how everyone is. Look at this party. This is great. I still got an S rank with that, despite stalling the whole time. And I'm still getting these unlocked because they haven't patched that yet. So, yeah, that's the concept behind at least my first chapter, which I have tentatively dubbed the Tao chapter. Because, like, alright, we begin, we're friends with Tao, let's learn about Tao, and resolve his things. That way the whole bullying angle and also friendship with Tao just feels more natural. Because, like, oh, we've known about this, we helped him through it. Right? We know, and it didn't just suddenly show up for one mission, and that's it. So, that's the concept behind at least my rewrite is, can we make things, more palatable across the board? And so we're not totally introducing Mashima, Shina, and Ririn just yet, right? We meet them, but they're not part of the team, so we don't get overloaded with the amount of people. And then again, possible new introductory character. I'm going to take Death Creep for this next set of stuff to do. But again, the idea is just, we're not going to have Chaos right off the bat, but we can have the from Armored Core 6, the Iguazu, who's just like, who are these newbies who showed up? We were the new guys who are like going to be the new cool guys on the block. We were going to have our whole future of being popular and important, and now we've had that stolen from us by this group of newbies who showed up from nowhere with Awakening. And so they could possibly recur as like, who are you, why do you exist, and why are you cooler than me when I should be the coolest one? Right? That's an option that's available with this setup. I think I'm going to run a bounty hunter just because because I'm offline, I'll be able to do the easier ones. I can do Bounty Hunter with my Eclipsing Gundam, but with these, it's a little easier. Plus, you can see some of the characters that sort of just don't show up. So H3 Trainer is one of the lobby NPCs. Flugel one of the lobby NPCs. Oh, we have Mashima's, like, updated build in here. That's cool. Same with Rin's. Oh! I can get more Rin parts. Artel's there. Azale Blazing, Tau. Armored Heavy Arms. Doesn't show up in the lobby, but I believe it's one of the random, or not random, but one of the generic teams that you fight in one of the tournaments. Oh, both of Tau's are here. That's funny. Bolt Gundam Goliath, Gundam Energia, Ciclamino, Femme Fatale. Barbados Azula is another one of the lobby NPCs. So, there's actually no overlap between the lobby NPCs and the enemy player teams that you come across in the story. Like, Barbados Azula is never fought as part of the story, but he will appear in the lobby at some point. Same with Gundam Energia. Armored Heavy Arms never shows up in the lobby, but he's part of one of the teams that you fight. Same with Flugel and Trainer. Those guys are lobby, so they don't show up in any of the battles. That's it. I can update the list, right? Can I not refresh the list? Just for a new group? Aha, there we go. It did change up a bit. Gaia Gundam Bianca is enemy team. Oh, there's Helios. Oh, that in there. Guai's custom firearms test type is funny because the Guai's is an actual unit, but not in this game. This is a custom Guai's. So that's funny. I'll fight this one as well. Proceed, yes. Choose my teammates. Let's have Mr. take my Geminus, and we'll have, I can actually sort through everybody. So you can have Tau, Pink Ririn, Blue Ririn, the original Shina, the original Mashima, Advanced Tau, Ririn Carnation, Ciclamino Second, Nouvelle Crane Queen, Jin, Artel, Rhyme, Misa, and then Ririn Carnation Ririn. Although you can still change this anyway. I'll have you take... What do I want you to take? You can make... Oh, no, I need to master new skills for Nether, so I can actually make that, like, a thing. Take Megamoir, see how that goes. Probably gonna be terrible, but we'll try it out. But, anyway. I'm getting mixed up in all of my, different thoughts and things. Basically, I want it to feel more like, you know, a bunch of Gundam nerd friends playing Gundam. One of my favorite parts in, like, the entire story, as far as dialogues go, is just the briefings before each of the four kings, where it's like, oh, they use this kind of Gundam, and, you know, they use this attack from the series. You know, they make references, they make jokes. I want more of that throughout the whole thing, and I feel like Tau would have been the perfect vehicle for that. Just being Sei. Right? Sei 2.0. Where he's like, okay, I know these Gundam. This is neat. So I think it would have been real good to do that. Though, it's funny, because speaking of the briefings, you know what, I don't think these are leveled up enough for this. These guys are high damage. But, when doing the briefings, like, everyone talked about all the different Gundams and series they're from, right? So you have, Gustav, it's like, oh, he has Bolt Gundam, so he's got Gaia Crusher that Argogolski used in G Gundam. Mobile fighters are tough. You have Dora's Gundam using Wing Zero Custom, which, by the way, is a really weird assessment to make, because 90%... Oh, I'm dying. Like, 90% of her unit is Legolas, right? She's got the Legolas body, she's got the Legolas arm, no, Legolas head, Legolas arms. I'm dying so hard. This is unbalanced. I hate the way they did, what is it, Bounty Hunter here. Because look at this. Look how fast I went down. This is level 35 parts, and even the NPCs are getting wiped out. Like, come on. Anyway. Yeah, so they talk about their units. Dora has mostly a Gundam Legolas, despite the fact that they're focused on the wings, which don't actually confer anything but a beam saber skill. Like, you could have talked about how the Legolas has a bunch of hidden weapons, like the beam Vulcans and the beam sabers hidden in the palms. Oh my god, leave me alone and let me res. Oh my god, let me res. So yeah, then they have Carpaccio, who they talk about her damn it, her Abyss Gundam, and hers is actually like mostly Abyss Gundam. It's like 5 out of 6 parts are Abyss Gundam, so that one works. So they talk about all their Gundam, but then when you look at the dialogue for Kurokante, it's all about his character, right? It's like, oh, he seems like a gentleman, he seems honorable, but actually he's a liar and a cheat and a terrible person. And it's like, oh, there's the foreshadowing where it's not the unit that's important because he's gonna cheat. He's gonna bring out something and his unit isn't the thing that matters. And sure enough, he uses Neo Zeong, and it's like, oh yeah, his Gundam never mattered because that wasn't the main part. The main part is he's going to lie to you. Alright, you're way weaker than Din was. You I can fight. My gun isn't back yet. Lances are also so bad. Yeah, I can deal damage to you. I can't deal damage to Didin. That's a slight problem. Okay, never mind. But I want more of the nerd Gundam talk. That was some of the best parts in Gundam Build Fighters as well, where Sei is just going full Gundam nerd. You gotta have that balance between battling, building, and Gundam. Helios is probably strong. What? How did I die? Where did I die from? No one shot me. Oh, okay. Good. I'm doing so little damage. It's actually super unfortunate. Oh, I didn't actually ground break. I can't ground break him. He didn't lose his legs. I love it if my allies could get them off of me, because they're both here, and I don't see my allies anywhere, and at least one of them is up. I think they're both up. Yeah, no, it's just, the Geminus is low on HP. See, look at that. They're both double teaming me. How come my allies are nowhere? What? I wish AI partners were at least smart too. They should improve on that at least. If they can't make the story good, make the AI allies good. Oh, did you go down? Yeah, you did. I don't suppose. Yeah. Not the best, not the best. But also, Geminus has no skills, I don't like the lance, and I'm actually not sure if I leveled up the Megamore. If I didn't, whoops. But yeah, those are all level 30 parts. Those are also all level 30 plus parts. The Geminus is not leveled up, but I feel like that wasn't the problem because I was getting rocked. Yeah, actually, I'm not sure what else There's one thing I can do, considering I was talking about clear content. I didn't choose my build. Whoops. Second. But if you think my story write ideas are interesting enough, I could probably go on with my Chapter 2 ideas. I basically have through Chapter 2 thought up. Not so much. Actually, let me take the SD. Chapter 3 is a bit iffy because that, like, again, Chapter 2 is the idea of we're getting to know each other. I could introduce Mister to be, like, an ally who's helping us figure things out. Chapter 3 would be the clan tournament, which is basically the same as it is here. We can even have the, what's it called? Have the mobile guys show up as another cameo as before. Alright, this is what I want to do. Have Jin, have Misa, give Jin his old build, and have Misa use her, or inspired by her old build. So that way we have the old me, the new me, and Misa. That's good. And we're gonna go face a Neo Zeon. The new me right now is using an SD because that is possible. This is the fun idea. But I can also skip all this again. The other idea also is to have Chapter 2 be the Din chapter, and we start working through her whole, inferiority thing where it's like, why am I not good enough? Like, he can use an awakening, Tao is a good builder, what do I have? And now we have a whole new team of people where Din is stronger, Mashima's also experienced, Sheena is, I don't know, rich? I don't know what to do with that yet. But also, it's like, she doesn't hate everybody. In fact, she likes everybody, but she can't help feeling like she's the odd one out in terms of ability. So, the idea would be working through that through Chapter 2. Aside from that, I don't know. And then Chapter 3 would go on to be like the Ridin chapter, because now we gotta work her into the main story, because she is crucial to the plot. And it's like, okay, well, why is she like a clone of Ridin? Like, let's get into that. And that's sort of where problems arise, because I'm like, I don't know how to work this together, because the original plot is just really bad. So I'm working in a framework that, like, isn't really workable. Is my main issue. Ow. So while 3 is not quite fleshed out, 2 I've got ideas. I just can't remember the details at the moment because, again, I've spent more time looking through my ideas for Chapter 1 than I have the others so far. Also, the idea would be to have the chapters longer in length, so they're not 5 missions. Because it makes things feel like they're going by really fast. When it's like sets, very clear sets of 5, right? Because Chapter 1 is over super quick. You do Chapter 1, you meet Din. You do Chapter 2, or you do Mission 2, and it's like, alright, there's a glitch. You do Mission 3, God, I don't remember what Mission 3 is. I think it's you meet Mister. Then Mission 4... I don't remember Mission 4 either. Then Mission 5 is like, hey, here's Freedom Fleet, here's Awakening. And it's like, already? Again, you get Awakening in GB3, like, after Mission 11, at the end of Chapter 1. So I feel like the chapters should be longer, just to facilitate having more time with the characters, getting to know them, hanging out with them, giving the story time to breathe. Plus, who might complain about more missions? They gave us a whole bunch of quests with zero story, and that makes it feel like bloat, because it's like you could have used those for story, right? Those could have been something to, Like, give us more time with characters and have character moments, as opposed to just slapping everything into 36 missions and then having a whole bunch of extra missions that don't do anything for the story, right? Just straight up grind missions, which is what the story becomes after you've completed it anyway. So it doesn't feel super necessary. There were no grind missions in GB3. Everything was a story mission. Granted, some missions were, you know, didn't have much going on, so they were grind missions in the middle of the story. But again, it gave the pacing a bit more credence, because, like, okay, well, we're literally just training, we're just fighting, we're just practicing. And it's, like, visibly part of the story, as opposed to, well, you can do this, or we could ignore it, and either it happened or it didn't, and it doesn't really matter either way. Which is awful for the story pacing. I am far too strong for this level at this point. Like, my parts are like level 47 at this point, and this is a level 29 mission. But it's fine. I'm here to just to break bots and have fun with my old buddies. Except Robota. He's still in space. I'm being the Robota right now by being an SD Gundam, is the idea. We're all here. The gang's all here. It's like we never left. We never drifted apart. Skip that. So if I hold down the shoulder buttons, like in the middle of the cutscene, it doesn't register when I leave. Me throwing up my whip there is me trying to hit my skill button. But it's not registering because I don't know. Yeah, here I am needing every single skill and using all of them. So I guess I only really have 7 skills because I have 2 boomerangs, which are the same. I'm mad at how many frames I'm losing, and I don't know why. Computer was working fine all day, all the days before. Now today, it's like I can't function. Maybe it's tired of me playing GB3. Maybe it's time to move on until the DLC shows up. And if this is the last one for a while, then yeah, you know what? I will spend it with my 2 old friends. Jin, what are you doing back here? But let's go beat up a Neozeong like old times. One other thing GB3 allowed was, most of the time, you worked with a team of 3. You know, you, Misa, and Robota. But there was occasionally, especially during the like climactic battles, where it's like, have a 4th person join you. And that's just not allowed here. It's strictly 3 teams of 3. Which is really sad, because having a 4th person was great. Oh, I didn't do it close enough. There we go, just knock him into it. Hey, where'd your health go? Blow up. What if I just beam away the rest of your health? You know what? You can tank that surprisingly well. But can you tank this? No, that was most of that health bar. Oh, you know what? He returned the favor. Fair enough. I'll return the favor again. Like, literally, these two have faced a Neozeong in space. There's literally nothing you can do with this that's more surprising. Though it is interesting that the survival mode Neozeongs, both second and this one, have legs. Misa, you've literally faced one before. And you know what? The Neozeong before was a lot stronger. Did it just bash me in the middle of the cutscene? But the Neozeong from before was a lot stronger because it was based on my own gunpla. And not, you know, this pathetic hack. Also, I still don't remember what the name of his gunpla is. I just went to the mission and I still don't remember. I think I've seen it and it's either mistranslated or it's really bad. So it doesn't make much sense. There we go. Breaking stuff apart. I'm not sure what I'm aimed at. There we go. Chop him up. Send out my little buddy. My littler buddy. Alright, put up your barrier. Thank you. Let me tear through this real quick. And battery's basically gone. And open up. I didn't make it. Now, Neo Zeon is a little bit easier to hit because it's wide. Right? Something like Apsaras or the Devil Gundam or even the PGs. Like, their shapes just don't help when it comes to landing a finger. Oh, he's dead. I didn't even notice his health. Whoops. Made that far too easy. Kinda sad we're not commenting on the Neo Zeon. Still, I think it would have been super cool if the others had similar gimmicks. I just want to see the other big bosses show up. Dendrobium can come back. I don't know if docking with an Archangel would be fine. That would be a bit weird. Oh, I don't need this, because this is the last one. This is the... We go to the big door and unlock it. Oh, that's the big door and unlock. It's fine. Seen it all. Done it all. We're good. Oh, Mesa's floating up there because of the way that pose works. Weird that it doesn't do it lower, because it always ends up too high. Like, even if you're in the middle, it ends up too high. Look at how bad a lot of these are. Like, anything that's negative, I'm just going to throw out. Any negatives, because it's just not worth it. Thruster gauge capacity, super doesn't really matter, because I have so much thruster gauge already. Singular shield bash doesn't matter. Hyper strength is nice. Thruster gauge economy is meh. So basically, I don't really need any of these. Burn them all. I just wish you could, like, merge them, because it's just a hassle to sort through them and not be able to do anything aside from just plug them in. But yeah, I guess that's all I really have for now, for a while. I mean, I still haven't remade old favorites like my Zaku Amazing or Wing Gundam Fenice. But yeah, without more missions, there's really not much for me to do aside from just grind out what I already have. And unless I level them up to super high levels, I can't really bring them to higher difficulties yet. I mean, you saw how the Death Creep turned out against the overtuned bounty hunter NPCs. But yeah, I mean, I think I can let this rest for the moment and wait for more DLC suits whenever that'll happen. I don't think we have a schedule for that just yet. I would like to have one so that way I know. Like, we don't even know when the Mighty Freedom or Mighty Strike Freedom and Caliban are supposed to come out, and those are, you know, free post-game updates or post-release updates. So we don't even have that known, let alone the actual DLC release dates, right? So we'll see. I'll probably come up with more builds before then. I'll sort through what I've got now, clean up shop, and then yeah. I guess I'll sign off again with thank you for joining me on these adventures. If you do want to see more like various random builds, just me running random missions with cool random suits that I've come up, or ideas that you may have and you want to see me throw together, by all means, let me know. And I'll see you around in the next one. Bonus clip. So, after I ended up just doing the final boss fight again on New Type just to get that last achievement, and on a whim, I decided to record it in its entire 10 frames a second glory. But I have complaints. Shall we see them? Did you see it? Did you see what happened there? I'm on New Type. And, that one-shot me. And mind you, I still have Avoid Instant Death. How did this happen? Now, I have 1,080,000 HP. That is the top hard cap of health you can have. You cannot have any more. The game says, stop. This is all you get. I don't have any more health boosts I could even give in the first place, but I have the maximum amount of health. So let's hop back a second and tackle that frame by frame. Right? So here I am. Going in, doing my attack. He's raising his arms to do his Dark Riser. And then we'll see what happens. I'm in front of his pelvis. And I've taken damage from what exactly? Did I get hit by the Gundam face crotch? Why did that deal damage to me? Why did I take a hit there? Why is that a hitbox for this attack? It shouldn't be. Because the big sword should be the hitbox. Right? That's the idea of the big, stupid beam sword. But it gets better. So he comes down. I'm hit again by the body? Why is that a hitbox? I'm not even hit by the beam saber. So I've gotten hit in one swing by two separate hitboxes, and I'm still above critical health. I can still survive going from here to 1, right? Evade instant death will still kick in. I don't know what I'm getting hit by. I don't know where I am. I'm now in critical health. But, as we saw before, it's not over. How did I get hit 4 times in the span of one swing, taking over 1,080,000 damage? Evade instant death can't stop that, because it's multiple hits. With all my crazy regen, I can't do anything against that, because it was instantaneous. And you could see the timer up top. These are in milliseconds. 1 second hasn't even passed. And I got hit by 4 separate hitboxes to take me from full 1 million health to 0. And the attack isn't even over. He's still going. 3. He did 3 to 4 hits total in that combo. No, sorry, 3 to 4 swings in that combo. I already took 4 hits from the initial swing. Okay, I almost never do things like this, because, you know, it's never this egregious. But from 1,080,000 in the span of milliseconds, 4 hits. Who designed this? Who okayed this? This is a failure of design. That's not okay. That should never have made it anywhere. Now, again, I don't really know anything about programming, but that's a fumble if I've ever seen any. Because that should never happen. I got hit by 4 separate hitboxes in a single swing. That I don't even know what the last 2 hitboxes were, to be honest. And I don't know why the body has multiple hitboxes when the weapon should be the hitbox. Right? This is like Fume Knight backhand nonsense from Dark Souls 2. But, like, worse. I didn't get hit by the murder saber. I got hit by his dick. Which, you know? Yeah, you know what? Maybe that would kill me. But in the game context, it shouldn't have. What is this? Why is this? I don't even know if I should call to fix this. Just, this should never happen. It shouldn't need to be fixed because it shouldn't happen. I beat him. I had to revive the one time. But I did beat him. And I got the achievement. But I'm mad that I died once to that. Like, I knew the Dark Riser sword was a problem. I didn't think it'd be this kind of problem. So anyway, until they release the events, I literally have, like, nothing else I can really do in this game. I've beaten the hardest fight on the hardest difficulty. I have every achievement so far, except for the ones that I literally cannot access. Yeah. That's all I want to say about this. Anyway, see you around when new stuff comes out.